Hello, my name is Monroe Anton. You are now part of my family. With your help, we can all ascend our cosmic energy and be healed.
Developed on the Unreal Engine 4, this psychedelic survival horror makes its debut by developers Brass Token, which is a pretty cool name if you think about it. The game was published by Prime Matter and released on November 3, 2002 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, as well as good old PC. A third-person horror action-adventure game set on a remote spiritual island retreat. Craft, fight, and flee the psychedelic horrors unleashed when a spiritual ritual goes wrong, awakening a dimension of cosmic terror. Players are introduced to Jess as she arrives on a small, secluded island that has a bit of a midsummer feel to it. There she meets up with childhood friend Kim and her new friends, who kumbaya their way to opening a psychedelic dimension known as the Gloom. You're left in the dark about what's going on in the camp after being immediately isolated from the other patients when the titular Chant goes astray. Jess is quickly thrust into the supernatural realm. Things eventually rely on a system fueled by Jess's mind, body, and spirit, which is equal parts exploration, problem solving, and battle. Those that inhabit the alternative dimension are an unholy fusion of plant life and humanoid species, as well as floating jellyfish-like creatures and other violent plants. Jess is not a fighter by nature, therefore she only has a few weapons available to her, such as a sage stick or a bundle of lit-up sticks, as well as other oils that she can either throw at adversaries or set down as traps. The Chant can be beaten in 8 hours and has 3 different endings depending on how much experience you've gathered in the mind, body, or spirit categories. The game received decent scores. However, it feels like a hidden gem that will get lost in the void only to be found years later and develop a cult following. Even though it is relatively new, it seems to have gone under the radar with the lack of Call of Duty level advertising. There doesn't seem to be much physical copies in the wild, and those that can be found are being sold relatively cheap. You may want to get your hands on one because, like most underrated horror games, it has the potential to become a rare title indeed. With this being Brass Token's debut, it's looking positive to what the future might hold for the developers. So go ahead, take the chance.